Hari Om. In this video, I will share with you the story of Draupadi's Swayamvara. Swayamvar stands for marriage ceremony. To quickly recap, in the last video, we saw how Bhima kills Bakasur and Hidimba. Bhima also marries Hidimbi, sister of Hidimba, and they together have a son named Ghatotkacha. The Pandavas eventually leave Hidimbi and Ghatotkacha and continued their journey in the forest. They meet a Gandharva who shares with them an inspiring story and encourages Pandavas to drop hatred and their desire for revenge towards Kauravas. The Gandharva also shares the story of King Drupad, who had set up a marriage ceremony for his daughter Draupadi. Drupad deeply wanted to get Draupadi to marry Arjuna, but he was very sad to find out that Pandavas were all dead because of a palace fire in Varnavrat. He still had a deep desire to get Draupadi married with a skilled archer, and he had set up a very tough competition for it. He also had a premonition that Arjuna was still alive. The Gandharva encourages Pandava to go to Kampila, which is the capital of Panchal, where this marriage ceremony was taking place. Sage Vedvyasa also appears to Pandavas while they were going through the forest, and even he encourages Pandavas to go to Draupadi's Swayamvar and blesses them, saying bright days were ahead for them. Elaborate arrangements were made, and all kings from all parts of the country were invited for the Swayamvar. On the appointed auspicious day, the Pandavas go to the ceremony. They see that the stage was magnificently decorated. Sweet fragrance was everywhere in the atmosphere. Melodious music resonated. On the stage, they also see Duryodhan along with Karna, King Shishupal, King Jarasandh, Krishna, Balarama, and many other kings. Some kings were present to participate in the competition, and some were present simply to witness the competition. Drishtadyumna escorted his lovely sister to the dais in the center of the stage. Draupadi was splendidly dressed. Her attire added to her heavenly elegance. She bore flower garland in her hands. Drishtadyumna addresses the august assembly. He announces, "I pray for your attention. Here is the bow and 5 arrows. A wheel, which has a hole within it, revolves above. Over it is a target fish. Whoever aims at the arrow through the hole in the revolving wheel by looking at the reflection in the pot below and pierces the eye of the fish gets my sister in marriage. This is my pledge." Many kings could not even lift the bow. Duryodhan did not participate because he was already married to Bhanumati, princess of Kalinga, and he had promised her that he would never marry another time. So in his place, he sends Karna. When Karna was about to try, Draupadi stood up and said, "No, the son of a charioteer cannot contend for my hand in marriage." Thus, humiliated publicly, Karna withdrew. When all Kshatriyas had tried and failed, Drupad invited the Brahmanas to participate. Arjuna was in disguise of a Brahmana. He immediately rose, picked up the bow, looked at the reflection of the eye of the fish rotating above, and released the arrow. The arrow hit its mark, and the audience cheered. Everyone was dumbfounded that a Brahmana could do what Kshatriya could not. Sri Krishna, in his mind, knew it was Arjuna who was in the form of a Brahmana, and he was very happy that the Pandavas were alive. Draupadi goes and garlands Arjuna, not knowing that he was Arjuna. They take blessing from King Drupad and leave the ceremony to go to a hut where their mother Kunti was staying. Entering in the house, Arjuna, in his excitement, said to Kunti, who was cooking food and not facing the Pandavas at the door entrance, he says, "Look, mother, what I have won at the tournament." Without turning around, Kunti said, "Whatever it is, share it equally with your brothers." "But it is a woman," said Arjuna. Kunti turned around and found the beautiful Draupadi standing. She was troubled at heart, but hiding her feelings, she embraced the girl. Draupadi, in her turn, touched the feet of her mother-in-law in reverence. Kunti tells to Yudhishthir, "I have never in my life uttered a word falsifying truth. Unwittingly, I have spoken directing all the five of you to share the prize won in a tournament." Silence prevailed for a while. Then Yudhishthir spoke, "Mother, be not worried. Nothing wrong will happen. Nothing is more sacred to us than our mother's word. She has asked us to share Draupadi, we shall obey her. My understanding of Dharma endorses her verdict. I have never entertained an evil thought in my life, therefore this thought must be good," says Yudhishthir. Meanwhile, Drishtadyumna had been spying and following Pandavas to their hut. In the very beginning, he quickly found out that Draupadi was given to Arjuna and it was the Pandavas who had come in disguise of Brahmanas. He goes back to the kingdom and tells his father Drupad, who could not believe this. He sends lots of gifts, expensive clothes, and welcomes the Pandavas to the kingdom. After welcoming his soon-to-be son-in-law and his brothers, Drupad asked them to reveal their identity. He was very happy to learn about Pandavas and their adventures in the forest. Drupad suggested that the marriage of his daughter Draupadi with Arjuna should take place as soon as possible. Yudhishthir made a counter suggestion which startled everyone to the core. He said that all the five Pandavas would have Draupadi as their common wife. It was something unheard of. Dharma would not sanction it. Suddenly, Vyasa appeared on the scene. Drupad presented his predicament. The sage said, "I intuited your dilemma, so I have come with the mission to clarify Dharma." Vyasa goes on and says, "Draupadi in her former birth prayed to Lord Shiva for a husband with five qualities. Those five qualities being moral, being strong, being knowledgeable, someone who is good looking, and someone who is kind and loving. Shiva blesses her to have five husbands, as no one human being can have all those five qualities. According to her karma, she is to have five good husbands. And it is only possible in the Pandavas, who are ever in full agreement with each other. The marriage may be sanctioned." Drupad had implicit faith in Vyasa, who was the repository of wisdom. He agrees to his suggestion and willingly dedicated his daughters to the five inseparable Pandava brothers. There are lots of insights from this story. One may question, why did Kunti not take back her word after she found out the prize that Arjuna mentioned was a woman? There are various reasons that could support this decision. Number one, back in the days, there was a huge importance given to the power of spoken word. Whenever one says something, it happened, and it somehow manifests. That was the power of spoken word. Another reason could be Kunti also noticed that all her sons were attracted to Draupadi. Fearing that a woman would disrupt the unity of her sons, she maybe did not want to take back her word. On top of that, she also said, "What I have said must be done if you are truly my sons, provided Dharma allows it." Also, is there any other significance of Draupadi marrying five Pandavas? Think. One could think of Draupadi as the personification of pure mind, loyally serving the five senses at the same time maintaining its own purity and individuality. One could also think of Draupadi as the Kundalini Shakti, which travels through the spinal column to all the five chakras on the path. The five chakras could be the five Pandavas. Remember, Draupadi is born out of fire, And we also know that Kundalini Shakti is the fire that propels the man via the 5 chakras. Think. Also, why did Draupadi disqualify Karna? Ideally, during a Swayamvar, a woman was supposed to choose a husband from among the assembled men. But as time passed, the right was taken away from the woman. The Swayamvar became an archery competition. The bride was the winner's trophy. But the woman concerned had the right to disqualify men from the tournament. That is one reason why she could disqualify Karna. And the other reason is she might have disqualified Karna on the grounds of his social status. But remember, when no warrior was capable to strike the target, Drupad compromises and allows priests who were of the similar status but of a different strata than Kshatriyas. He allows the priest to participate. Draupadi accepts her father's compromise and marries a priest who turns out to be a warrior in disguise. Thus, Vyasa draws attention to the folly of being driven more by external apparent truths rather than the underlying actual truths. So, think. In the next video, we will see how Pandavas come out of incognito mode and reveal their identity and go back to Hastinapur. We will also see the story of Khandav forest. If you have a question about this story or want to share an alternate idea or views, add them to the comments section below. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thank you. Hari Om.